Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually going to be doing a pretty highly requested video. I've been getting a bunch of questions and comments on my YouTube and just direct contact through some of the Facebook phone flipping groups that I'm in. I actually just posted my results for last January. As I said, I made about 8K last month in sales, and it kind of blew up the post, and I got a bunch of comments. So I have a bunch of video ideas, so that means videos every single day. Sorry I wasn't uploading these past 2 days. I was actually out in New York City for a job interview, but I'm back here giving you guys knowledge so you guys can go out and make hopefully more than me this February. So in this video, I'm actually going to talk about how I actually get all my phones for so cheap. People kept asking me, like, how are you getting these lowball prices on all of them? I'm actually going to give you 3 main tips plus a bonus tip at the end, so stick around for that. So let's get into the video. So the first tip that I'm going to be giving you guys on how to get these phones so cheap is to actually make offers on every phone you see. If you've seen my how to flip phones for beginners video, you'll know that I actually preach this pretty heavily, but you guys need to be making offers on every single phone. Even if you see an iPhone 7 Plus, somebody's selling it on like Facebook Marketplace for like $700, still give them a price, because you never know. People, sometimes I've had people where they accidentally price something where they've said, oh, I didn't realize it was so high, and they've ended up negotiating with them and then buying the phone. I bought an iPhone 6 Plus for, I think it was $100 last week, and the guy had it listed for $500. It was a guy in the local market on OfferUp. And he actually had mispriced the item. He had clicked a 5 instead of a 3. So I ended up, again, there's several other steps that I did in there, but this is the main point: is you never know who's going to accept your offer, at least negotiate with you, because people are weird when they try to sell cell phones. It's much different than any other just buying and reselling items like clothes or tables. They're pretty firm, but with phones, people negotiate pretty heavily, and you guys would be surprised if you're new into this kind of business how many people are willing to take such a lower price than what they had originally priced the phone at on whatever platform. So this brings me to my second point: is use as many platforms that are accessible to you. I'm actually in the United States, and I know some of you might be international, so use what you can with some of these tips that I'm going to give, or use platforms that are similar that you have in your own countries. But I basically use 4 main platforms that I have preached in other videos. But 1 is OfferUp, 2 Letgo, 3 Facebook Marketplace, and 4 Craigslist. So you need to be using all these certain platforms, especially if you're in the US. Some of these platforms might not be kind of heavily used in your town, but use them, because you never know. There's always people on the platforms. You just kind of have to find. It's just a numbers game, as I say before. The more phones that you find, or more people that you come to, you're gonna get shut down. You might get 1 out of 100, but if you reach out to 400 people in a day, and I've had days where I reach out to that many people, you're gonna get 4 phones, and that's obviously the least. But with that said, like, you really need to take into consideration that there's so many people out there. Think about how many people you see walking around in a Walmart or just a local restaurant. Every single person has a phone. That means at some point they're gonna want to sell that phone. So that can be you. And think about how many people are in a town. If 95% of the people in that town have a phone, think about how fast phones are flipping. So if you get your name, your money in front of those people, they'll eventually sell to you. So, and then my third point that I have is actually probably the most important in how I leverage to be able to get phones so cheap, is showing them that you know what you're talking about. And this is where it comes, like, if you're a beginner in this business, it's not too hard to gain knowledge on this. 1, watch my YouTube, because I know you'll be able to learn a lot, because I give in-depth knowledge, honestly, that you can't find free anywhere else. Yeah, there's phone flipping courses out there, but I'm trying to be the one guy that's just releasing this content because I enjoy doing it. So, but one thing that really separates me from other people or other competition in the market, and why I'm honestly probably one of the highest are the best producing phone flipper in my town, solely because I put my face out there. I built a brand around mine, and I have repeat customers, but I show them that I know what I'm talking about. So people will try to, like, obviously, as I said, they'll try to rattle you. They'll try to tell you I'm firm. Nobody's ever firm on a price. I can tell you that, unless they are already lowballing the price to start with. But show them, like, some examples that I can give you guys is, like, in my conversations, if I'm having a tough time trying to work a guy down to a price that I want, I really like, most of the time they don't actually know what the value of the phone is, or at least what it resells on eBay. And as you guys know, that's how I price my items, is based on the previous sold listings on eBay. So I'll be like, hey John, like, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but being a prominent figure in the phone flipping business in this town, I honestly give this price because of the local market and what it's selling for. I resell on eBay, so if there's anything with the phone, and like, this is where you can leverage if there's a crack or a tiny scratch on the back or something, but every little thing counts on the phone. So that's honestly why I'm pricing the phone that I am, is because that's the price it actually resells on eBay. And most people won't test you on that because they don't really know how to check for what phones are selling for on eBay. But you can literally tell them the exact process of how you do it. And I've had that sometimes. I'll be like, yeah, on the last 5 phones on eBay, I averaged them out and they actually sold at this price, and I'll actually give them the price that I'm looking to buy the phone for. So just say you're trying to buy the phone at the local market value, which should be a fair price. And then I can talk about, like, the second point could be like the price of what the phone's actually going for in your local market. So I'm in Tucson, Arizona. So I'll be like, hey, I actually just bought, I buy and flip a lot of phones here in Tucson, and I actually buy a bunch of phones at this price. So I'm honestly trying to give you a fair price, but if you want to keep the phone and hold it for a couple weeks, you can, but I can guarantee you nobody's probably going to be willing to pay that price. So you kind of want to leverage that position that you have the money and they don't yet. So that's a big point that I have. And sometimes I act like I bought other phones at the other price. So I can, like, I'll sometimes say, hey John, I actually bought a phone, a 7 Plus, at $300 this morning, and honestly that's because of these certain things. You can talk about the eBay, the local price of the market, but yeah, like show that you've bought phones at that price, and they'll be like, maybe that's actually the market value of that phone. And then it's just the fact of, like, I have the cash on me and I can meet as soon as possible, and I'm willing to meet halfway. My town's not that big, so the farthest distance I go is maybe 15 minutes, which I have no problem with. So that's always a convenience from their side, or from their viewpoint, is you're able to meet them halfway. Usually I always pick the location because I know I like to have a place with internet, or a local Verizon, AT&T, or Sprint store, something like that. So leverage that you really have the money, and that obviously they're selling the phone because they want or need the money. So you want to leverage that position because you have the cash. Like, you're taking the risk, but they're like, if there's something wrong with the phone, they'll obviously try to sell you it right away. But you have to leverage that position as best as possible, that they're the one that needs to be negotiating because you have the cash and they don't. So and then, as I said, I do have a bonus tip for you guys. This is point number 4. And this is honestly what kind of got me to 8K. I think it was at 5K sales with about 5 days left. And this is where I really make my profit, guys. Definitely take this. If you're going to take any point the most seriously, take this, is go hard the last 5-6 days of the month. The end of the month, if you think about it, everybody's trying to pay a car payment. Sometimes taxes are due. Sometimes, like, all these bills are due, like mortgages, people need to pay off their rent, whatever it is. Bills are generally at the end of the month, and that's where people that are struggling to pay those bills have to sell stuff that they have that are valuable, like phones, to be able to pay those off. And that's when I really leverage everything that I talked about today. So 1, it's the end of the month, they really need the money. You have the money, they need it. 2, you leverage, hey, this is the eBay value, this is what the local market has. 3, you could say, oh, I bought one for this price, the guy needed to pay off a car payment. You can leverage this position so well. So definitely take that tip to heart, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wish I could show you on my laptop right now, but I literally have like 20 video ideas that I just wrote out. Like, an hour ago I've been working on to try to plan out these next couple weeks. But I have a video literally every single day that is very knowledgeable and will help you guys reach benchmarks like 5, 10, 15K a month doing this certain phone flipping business model. So as again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to join the family. Again, videos every single day. I love doing these, especially when people are reaching out to me. It gets me so much more motivated. So leave a comment if you have a video idea in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the next video.